even though you think you see it all, you don't. And it's just like there's so much that goes on behind the scenes in our lives that isn't privy to people.
Jordyn, how would you describe this current Canadian women's national team?
I'd say it's new. I think it's like very fresh. I think that we have a lot of maturity and still some veterans on the team who've been around for 10 plus years. But then we also have this new group of fresh faces who kind of bring just like a newness to the team. And that's exciting. I mean, like we need to start developing the future of what Canada soccer will be in however many years. And I think that's kind of what Casey's been doing. So I think it's exciting and it's cool to really watch these younger players come in. And I think you kind of see yourself in them, like especially as a player who started very young as well. You kind of see how you felt in that moment and you can kind of relate to them. So you try to like give a helping hand or just be, supportive in a certain way just to like make them feel a little bit more comfortable because that was you however many years ago. But it's been really exciting to watch them kind of come in and the excitement that they have being involved in camp and players turning in from training players to making roster spots. I think that's exciting and just watching their reactions is really it brings a smile on my face.
Let's talk domestically. The Northern Super League has launched in Canada. And what are the conversations like with the national team about finally having a pro league at home?
It's just exciting. I think we've been wanting it for so long and it's been something that I feel like Canada has deserved for so long that I think that Diana kind of putting that into flow was huge. And I think getting even some of these players involved in that is really exciting and they can kind of give like a first hand on how it is going and like the behind the scenes of everything and obviously it is like a startup so it is first year and like there's going to be little kinks that come up but like they're getting smoothed out and the league just looks like it's rolling already and it's already been rolling for like 5+ years. Like it seems like it's ahead of its time just being the first year kind of being launched, which is really exciting. And I think like we would love to be a league that one day kind of sets the tone and kind of sets the bar for other leagues around the world. And I think that Canada has the ability to do that. And I think just like the fan base that we can grow and go support women's sports, I think is huge and it's very unique. And I'm excited to continue watching it grow. And I think it's been deserved from this country for so long.
What's something people might not know about this team, like a locker room tradition or a team motto? Anything behind the scenes that you can share?
I don't know if we have like one thing. We definitely have like when we get into like more tournament play, we definitely have like a song that we play before going out or like we get into those rhythms. So for a little bit it was Thunderstruck, especially when cheer was like blowing up. I think like Thunderstruck really like got to us. There was another one. What was the other one? Shoot, it's reaching for something in the what's that song?
Oh,
Almost taste it, release your in, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it from you. I think it was that. Unwritten. Unwritten.
Unwritten.
So
Yeah.
we had Unwritten for a very long time and we all would cheer and clap and whatever. So we do have like general songs that we play before we go out. Right now we don't have one actually because Unwritten was kind of our last one and now we've moved on from it. So I think we're a little lost now on what we're doing, but that's really it. I think the locker room is pretty hype. Especially like last camp when Desi Scott was back. She's definitely the biggest hype woman. So that was a fun send off for her in the locker room. We were definitely trying to bring back that energy that she brings. But no, nothing crazy, honestly. I feel like it's just a traditional, normal space, I mean, for us. But yeah.
For those who may not know, you've had a rough couple of months because of the home invasion, which you've been very open about. Took some time for yourself. How important was it for you to step away and choose yourself?
Yeah, it's huge. I think like for me, when it initially happened, I kind of chose everyone else. Like I chose the team and I chose to stay and I chose to play and I tried to just like give everything. And like that just wore me down even more without even like really realizing it. I was kind of just like slipping away from myself. Um, and I was just exhausted. Like it was really just I'm very bad at choosing myself. I'm very bad at putting myself first in situations where I should. And I'm learning to do that. So I definitely had a really amazing conversation with Casey when I was in camp. Um, and kind of just like explaining where I was at. And she kind of agreed that I just should take a step away, which was helpful as well for a person who feels like in a way that's like giving up, but like it's not. And I think like in a way I'd never like to wave my white flag and kind of say that I'm down. So for her to kind of step in as well and say like, no, like you should take a step away. Having that support and like feeling that was just like, okay, like this is the right decision. Um, so yeah, I stepped away for about a week and just went home and just spent some time with my parents and my siblings and it was really nice. It was just like a really good reset, something that I really needed and I didn't need to be that long. Like it didn't need to be months. And I think that if had I let it just continue to spiral, it could have turned into something where it needed to be a longer term thing. But for me, all I needed in that moment was a week. But I think like everyone's so different and it might be a week for me, but it might be a month for someone else or whatever it looks like. I just think mental health is such a huge thing and it just like contributes so much to our day to day and contributes so much into us as athletes, especially like I wasn't being myself on the field because I wasn't myself off the field and like I was struggling so much off the field that when it was time to step on the field my head was in a different world and like I wasn't actually being who I was on the field, which then made me even more upset because I wasn't performing the way that I knew I could. So it's just like a snowball effect of everything. So being able to step away, obviously finding my footing again and feeling good and kind of getting back to myself and feeling like myself again, I think has been huge. And that's been really beneficial to me in the last few weeks, which has been nice. And obviously a lot of that goes to kind of taking my step back and taking a step away and taking a breath because sometimes life does throw a lot at you and even more than sometimes media sees. So it is important for players to just step back when they need to. And I think that it's huge that people understand that too, is just like not every aspect of our life, even though you think you see it all, you don't. And it's just like there's so much that goes on behind the scenes in our lives that isn't privy to people. So it's just like if people take a step back or need a second or take a mental leave, like just be supportive. And I'd say that's the biggest thing in media is just like if someone needs to do that, it's just like respect that they're making that decision for a reason that you may not even know and just like hope that they're okay because I think that's huge. And I think athletes are so in public eye that you think that you know why they're doing something, but it's just like sometimes there's so much behind the scenes that you don't know. So I just say like be supportive, be kind, support people when they're going through something and that's really it. But yeah, it was definitely an important step for me to take that step away.
Thanks for sharing all of that with us, Jordyn. Before we let you go, though, on a positive note, what was the moment like seeing Julia Grosso when your teams in the NWSL went head to head because fans couldn't get enough of it?
I mean, we had kind of planned to like try to see each other before the game, but like when I came off the bus, I didn't expect her to be right there. Like we hadn't played at that stadium before, so we had always been in a different stadium when we played in Chicago. So I didn't really know the layout of it. I didn't know where she would be. But when I saw her, it was, I don't know. It's just like when you see your best friend you haven't seen for a while. And obviously, like the last time she saw me, I was kind of stepping away from camp, not in like the best place. So then for me to be at a way better place and like seeing her, it was very nice. And it was just, I mean, yeah, that's my person, you know? It's my best friend. So it was definitely one of those moments. And now we're roommates in camp and we do that every day. We're like, ah! So that's just how we are.